Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. As you can tell by Campo's hat and my shirt, we are going to New Japan once again. New Japan had their first ever, Independence Day. New Japan Strong, actually. Let's rephrase that. This is a New Japan Strong event, and then this was their first ever show in Japan. So, being a historic event, we decided let's review this one. So let us start right away. With me once again, we have Campo Reviews. Like I said, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, wrestling. He reviews Putty Man too.
Sometimes I review Putty Man.
So make sure you go follow his stuff. It'll be down in the link below. And give the channel a sub too. If you love wrestling content, make sure you sub to the channel. You know, we drop reviews, we drop wrestling goodies every week. So make sure you follow for that.
Hold on, we'll wait. So, did you subscribe yet?
I don't think they have.
I don't think you can. You just do it? Come on. Just do it. I'll send you some money.
What money? I'm broke. That's why I'm doing this shit. All jokes aside, Campo and I actually have full-time jobs, so we have to work. So we'll start off with our first night one, which happened on July 1st, July 4th, Independence Day, actually in the US, even though this was held in Japan. We had a quick pre-show match it wasn't that quick. It was actually quite long. It was Oscar Lube, Yo, and Taguchi against Takahiro Katori, Dragon Libre, and Kengo. Where did these three come from?
I've never even heard of a Dragon Libre. I've heard of the Dragon Kid, and I've heard of Dragon Lee. Yeah, Dragon Libre.
And I know Dralistico.
Yeah, it's Nacho Libre's cousin.
Yes, Dragon Libre. Cousin. It's Nacho Libre. Give me a piece of that corn.
So just okay. We'll get to something later, but before I want to preface it by saying, in terms of the Young Lions, they really have a hard-on for Oscar Lube.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not here to say he's bad at all, because I think he's pretty solid. His match on night 2 a little bit not as good as he was here.
Him and Oleg too. They have
Oleg doesn't get it. Like, they're not giving it to him. He's like on a pre-show at both nights, wasn't he?
I think both Boltland was only on the second night, and Lube I think was on both nights.
Okay, but he was the early
Lube had we'll get to it on night 2 on the night 2
that's
review,
what I'm
but
saying,
he had a prominent match.
I'm feeling like there's like some kind of push going on for him. But I think for me, there's only one real standout. I was a big what's his name? Oleg. I was a big Oleg guy. But I'm starting to think out of all the young lines they're showcasing, there's only one that I really think is actually
technically Fujita, Koze Fujita is still a young lion too.
We're not counting him.
Okay.
He has purpose. So, but anyways, we'll get into this. This match was fine.
Yeah. Yo, on the pre-show.
This review, this match was just fine. I'll be honest, I don't think there was any bad matches for both nights.
Both nights, yeah. It was a fine little. I was entertained for both nights. Like I say, that's all I ask for is entertainment.
Strong has a panache for just showing you entertainment. There's no BS. It's just
here's good wrestling.
This is what it is. Like, not every match. 77% of the matches are not going to blow you away, but you're going to be like, okay, I enjoyed that.
One thing I was surprised both nights we didn't have any Fred Rosser. Is Fred Rosser hurt?
I think he is hurt.
Okay.
Because I don't think we've seen him at all since the one where they were in San Jose.
Not San Jose. The Juice Robinson match. No, the
Juice Robinson.
Yeah. And Lance Archer.
And Lance Archer,
yeah. The Resurgence, I think it was. Or
there you go. That's what it was called. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, these are three guys I've never seen before. Maybe they're on loan from another company. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, they were fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. And it's something if they're young lions as well, hey, that's something even more forward to look forward to.
In terms of early on New Japan matches go, this was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Because usually they're just a mess.
Yeah. Like usually do that hat trick with the three young lions in one match.
Yeah. And it's just Oleg wins.
Yeah. Or Lube.
Yeah.
But yeah, and some people I even mentioned some people I've never seen before. So next we have our actual opening match, which if you ask me, they should have swapped this with the pre-show match. You got bad dude Tito against the DKC, and everybody knows our thoughts on the DKC.
I don't. Okay, so does he? This is a weird question. Excuse me, I'm just trying to move all my stuff around. And this is a weird question, but as someone who watches this a lot, I should know the answer to this. Is he still technically a young lion, or like is him and Kevin Knight and that other guy now officially like not young lions?
I think
like they never really were.
I mean, I guess it's a little different in the strong system because they're part of the what's it called, the California
LA Dojo.
The LA Dojo, yeah.
That's why. And Kevin Knight's not really with New Japan, but he is a product of that class of LA Dojo, like that exact year. Like they go through it like graduation classes, right?
Yeah.
That generation, whatever you want to call it. But it's weird because he still gets treated like as if he's a new line the way they put him in matches.
But the crowd was super behind him for some reason.
The crowd was really different than a New Japan crowd. Like, is there just a different group of people that watch Strong? Because it didn't feel like one of those shows.
Yeah, there was more cheering. There was a lot more chanting.
It was more indie feeling.
Yeah. Mind you, that could probably just be the Korakuen Hall crowd.
It's possible. And also, side note, like way off topic, but I don't know if you ever noticed this. The inner workings of Korakuen Hall, when you see it, it looks like a piece of crap. But when they go up into those raised seats, it's really nice up there. That must be like a new addition or something to it, because like, I think the middle part looks like it's from the 70s.
They renovate. They did it like a little facelift or something recently.
Okay, but the whole center area where the ring is, like the walls and stuff, still
it looks like
really
a high
terrible.
school. It looks like a high school gymnasium.
But then you go up those stairs, and I was like, "Holy crap! It's so nice over here." I never get to see that.
Nice plush seats. So the bottom section looks like a high school gymnasium, but the upper bowl looks like an
auditorium for like theater.
Yeah, like if you're gonna go see a Broadway play or something.
Yeah.
Like it's like carpeted, nice seats. You're very, very, very true. I think that was a addition or renovation that they did a few years ago. Not 100%.
Couldn't you just fix the walls in the main area? Like, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, right. It looks like a hockey arena, but like
it looks like a parking lot.
Yeah. DKC was super over in this match. They weren't really cheering for Bad Dude Tito. Bad Dude Tito had this contraption on his arm, though.
Separated shoulder.
But
he did 2 nights in a row. But listen, still not a fan.
No, of either of these guys.
And you know what? This whole time, I don't know if we ended up learning this or you ended up learning it, and I just don't remember. But Bad Dude Tito's not from Australia.
No, he's not.
And this whole time, we thought the whole TMDK, except for Zack Sabre Jr., was Australian, and they're not.
I think he's from LA or something like that.
Yeah. Anyways, I really don't like him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan. And DKC is like even way lower down on my list of give a shits.
Yep. Same. That's why I think they should have swapped the 2 matches.
Yeah. I just, this, no. Well, not bad.
Not a bad match. No, just not a fan of the 2. Yeah. With that, we'll go into our next match, which is the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jor-El Nelson, Royce Isaac, and for some reason now JR Kratos is part of this.
Well, because I didn't know this. 2 things. Number one, JR Kratos is in New Japan Strong. I had no idea.
I thought he was still NWA or contracted.
So did I. But apparently when we saw him the first time at that NWA show, I think when we watched it, or it was NWA or the one for Ricky Steamboat, something like that.
It was the NWA show. It was the NWA.
And he was already signed to New Japan Strong at that point.
So he was just finishing off his dates with NWA or his...
I also didn't know that all 3 of them are in Team Lawler or whatever his thing is called.
The West Coast Wrecking Crew, Team Filthy.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys are... I never knew they were part of that team. I thought it was only Lawler and that one other guy that he's always with.
Royce Isaacs.
No, it's not Royce Isaacs. There's another white guy that he used to always come out with, and I haven't seen him in a long time. Oh. Well, I'll look it up later. That's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant.
Dragging out this episode for no reason.
And Kratos had this patch on his head. I guess he cracked his head open somewhere. But it looked like it was... I
thought about it. Okay, and like don't call me a jerk, but I think there was just like a blood patch under there. Because the way that he got hit there and it like exploded out on his body, I was like, there's no way that happened.
Yeah,
because at the same time they didn't let him wrestle. Yeah, it could have been like he had a huge swelling over under a cut and it was
So
full of blood, and
it
that's what
could be
happened.
it could be a hematoma,
Yeah,
right?
that it could have been that.
And if a hematoma bursts, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
So
Because they did not let him wrestle the second night. So
yeah, and yeah, but it was still a fun match. It was a very more strong style kind of match as opposed to less
it was Tom Lawlery.
very Tom Lawlery, very technical
It
based, hard
feels
hitting.
realistic. Tom Lawler
Yeah.
matches feel like they're hard hitting.
And it was we didn't even mention it was against Oiwa, Alex Zane, and Lance Archer. I haven't seen Alex Zane since like the tag tournament.
Yeah.
And Oiwa's another young lion we don't really see that often.
So this is where I was going with this. Oiwa, I'm thinking after watching these 2 days, he's like not even remotely close. By far the best young lion. Like it's not even there's
No,
not even a comparable. He's so far head and shoulders above watching those other guys wrestle. It's crazy.
yeah, I
He's
think
gonna be the next guy, which we see on the next night. But
Oiwa, I think, is getting ready to go on excursion soon.
I think so too, because you could tell Lance Archer is like awkwardly like they're like lovable baby, like
Mhm.
not just for the fans, but like the company loves him. So when you
Yeah,
get paired with him, you know that you're going somewhere.
exactly, exactly. And same thing with Alex Zane. I think there's
Alex
big
Zane,
plans for Zane,
he's so
and
good.
yeah, like I said, we haven't seen him really since the the tag tournament, the junior
Yeah.
tag.
If anyone's been watching social media though, he's been steady running the indies, like heavy duty. He faced El Hijo del Vikingo, like a bunch of big matches. So
Okay, so but he is signed to Strong though. He's just doing.
I believe I don't think he is. I think he has like a handshake agreement with them where he's like part of the roster, but he can go
Okay,
do whatever he wants.
because I like the tag team of just of like Archer and Zane. That's a good team.
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
So, but we get the West Coast Wrecking Crew going over in this, like you mentioned, Kratos. All of a sudden, at one point, his face is like busted open with the. So
It
we don't.
like his body was covered.
Yeah, but I mean, Kratos though ain't that young though. I think Kratos is in his 40s.
Yeah, he definitely looks old.
Yeah. So, but I mean, West Coast goes over. Next we stick with Team Filthy and we get Tom Lawler against Kosei Fujita. This was fun.
I
I
like
enjoyed
Fujita,
this
man.
match. Yeah, and I like Lawler. Lawler, like when we first started watching this a year and a half ago, we weren't really sure what to think of Lawler, but
Mhm.
Lawler is grown on us a lot.
I think it's less okay. He did get better as a wrestler, let's be honest, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's less to do with the skill and it was more to do with like what the F is this gimmick. But as you
Yeah.
let it play out, especially when you had the things with Lance Archer happening
Mm-hmm.
during the G1,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of really elevated him to like a new place. Are you drinking a Capri Sun?
No, I'm drinking a Kool-Aid Jammer.
Oh, it's just as bad. But yeah, and I
Sugar
think
water.
that gimmick is like
Yeah.
we were
It's
actually really hyped to see him at Forbidden Door, and when we
yeah,
found out his match went on extra early for
early.
some reason, we were like, oh no, we
It
missed
was
it.
even before 0 hour. They didn't even air it.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen. It was at the last minute they're just like threw him out there against whoever. And
Yeah.
I
But can
heard,
you imagine if they kept that match?
yeah,
How
do you
long the
know how
show
they made
would have
that match, right? They literally had to just grab a random wrestler they had backstage and be like, you're going out to fight Tom Lawler right now.
Yeah,
Like,
no, but
can
I'm
you
saying
imagine?
if they kept the Lawler Cole match, that show would have finished at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, it probably would have been a good match though.
It would have been a fantastic match, but oh well. But Tom Lawler takes his pants off one more time. And what one thing I noticed too with Lawler is feeling he's nowhere on the same level as the way Jay White was, but he's filling that void of that piece of shit character. You know what I mean?
But he's such a lovable piece
He's a
of
lovable
shit.
yeah,
He's like
exactly.
Lance Archer
Yeah.
or Suzuki. Like,
Yes. Just a
like
lovable
you should
piece
not
of shit.
supposed to like them, but it's like, yeah, I kind of like
I
them.
kind of like these guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do they call Suzuki? Murder Grandpa?
Yeah, he's the cutest murder grandpa around.
Right. But yeah, Lawler goes over as he should. Fujita has still got a long way to go, but
He's
like
really good.
he is. And Fujita, I think, is also, I think, ready for excursion.
I think he's back from excursion. I think that's why he got put with TMDK.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Usually when they come back from excursion, they get their gimmick. You know what I mean?
know, which is why I'm so weirded out that there was somebody else too that's still doing black. Anyways, that doesn't matter.
But
the guy that's with Suzuki.
Oh, Narita.
Ren Narita. Still we're rocking black trunks.
So what I think with Fujita, I think they're going for that rival to Zack Sabre Jr. Eventually, he's going to get fed up with the way Zack treats him. He's going to turn, and Fujita is going to be like the next, what's his name there? The pure champion.
Oh,
Shibata.
Wheeler Yuta? Oh,
no,
Shibata. Yeah, that's good too, because you can have him.
Because Shibata always wore the black trunks. That's all he was. Black trunks, Shibata, that's it.
Have him turn, and then make him have to go through a series of matches with Robbie Eagles first before he's allowed to fight Zack Sabre Jr., you know?
Yeah.
Like, any match with Robbie Eagles is a banger.
Yeah, and I would like to see Oiwa or Fujita against Robbie Eagles. That would be a good match.
That would be so good.
Even those other two guys that we haven't seen in a while, Haste and whatever the guy's name is.
You know what? Want to know what something? They're getting set up to be in a program, I think, for the championships.
That's okay. That makes sense.
Like they're gonna come back out of nowhere, like, and just be like, we want those, and they're gonna win, and then they're gonna go into a feud with someone from Bullet Club with those titles.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Well, I mean, speaking of Bullet Club, we'll get to that eventually. Because the next match is Romero and Eddie Kingston against Gato and Kenta.
This match had no business being as good as it was.
Yeah, and
Gato doesn't have it anymore, but you can see it's not because he doesn't have the skill. It's literally just because his body can't do it.
And with Eddie Kingston, say what you will about the guy too, for him, the passion is still there.
And when you work him in matches with like tough guys, it works. Like when you have him with a Suzuki or a Kenta, that works. It's once you start putting him with overskilled guys, like he can't wrestle a Kenny Omega. To me, that doesn't make sense. Which is why I understand in those matches why they put him on the team with the elite, because against the elite, he doesn't match them.
No, but
when
with them,
he's fighting other tough guys like Claudio and stuff, because that's how they're portraying them now, it works. Like Claudio's very skilled. I don't you know what I mean though. But they're portrayed as like
someone like
brutes.
Like a Mox even.
Yeah, that's why Kingston is there for Mox.
Is for Mox, exactly. So Romero and Kingston go over, a little foreshadowing for the next night too. Nothing crazy, but it was still a fun match. They hit so hard though. Like watching Kingston against Kenta, the way the way they were hitting each other, really setting up, because the next night we have Kingston versus Kenta for the New Japan Strong Open Championship, and it was that's the thing about these matches. The first night they really set it up for the next night, and we'll see that a little later in the episode as well, or later in the episode as well. A lot of this stuff tonight was setting up for the next night.
And that's fine. This is the thing. A lot of it awkwardly. Okay, this is more of an actual New Japan event in my eyes than it was a Strong event. Like this furthered a lot more storylines in New Japan than in that. But this is where I take issue.
But this is lower. This is lower card New Japan as opposed to top
all
card.
Of their big championships title, tag team wise, were here.
Yeah.
But the storylines that they pushed, okay, felt like it. Even though it was more New Japan oriented, it felt like it. Once you got to night 2, all those storylines are dead now. Do you know what I mean? Like it felt like you set up all these storylines, but just for night 2, and now it's over.
And now we're
never going to get anything.
Well, yeah, because we're going to get a whole bunch of new storylines going into next week with our G1. So
right, because they have to stop doing all these storylines to start doing those storylines.
Exactly, and we're probably going to get some really good storylines coming out of this, because now Eddie Kingston is in the G1 too. So who knows where that'll go, right? Next we go into our next match is Momo Kogo and Willow Nightingale against Mafia Bella of Julia and Tekla, and they're on a different level.
Not even close. The best match so far of the night. Not even close. This match was better, so much better than everything we just watched. Like,
And
I was
where has
shocked.
Willow Nightingale been hiding? She is really, really
No,
good.
but you know what's funny? I don't even know if you remember this, but when we go back, you even used to talk about how underused she was because she was really good.
Yeah.
She gets a really bad rep for getting caught up as like fodder for like Britt Baker and stuff.
AEW, yeah.
And then also that botch with the Anna Jay situation. It really set her back. But getting that strong title pushed her so much. Like, people love her. And Momo Kogo?
Yeah.
Is so good.
Yeah, she's so fun to watch. And for someone so small, she hits so hard.
And she runs so fast. Every move is so okay, but like, I never even noticed this, how good Tekla is.
Yeah.
Like, I never paid attention in all the matches we've seen to her, really, because you're so focused on the big names. It's like, she's fantastic, bro. Some of the shit she did is crazy.
Yeah.
And their teamwork moves, they're a nasty tag team. Like,
they are
absolutely
nasty. They're
tag
two-thirds. They're 2/3 of the Artist Championship, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
and they're just so good, dude. They're so good. And after watching this, I'll tell you this, and you'll agree. There's zero wrestlers in the world that are as good as Stardom in the female division. It's not even close.
I would argue to the point that Julia is probably top 3 female wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, okay. If not top 3, top 5, guaranteed.
Yeah, because you also have Starlight Kid and Shuri in there too.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for a few people at this point.
But I mean, even Mayui Watami now, Tam Nakano, like, it's just like Stardom is
so stacked.
Stardom is on a different level in terms of women's wrestling. It's like Tokyo Joshi Pro doesn't even hold a candle to it.
Shishida is really good too, and nobody talks about her because she got injured for so long. She got like brushed aside.
Azumi, like, it's like
Azumi. There you go. And the other one, who was in the match? Azumi and what's her name again? Yeah, so good.
Yeah, the Stardom women are on a different level. It's nice now and refreshing to have them show up on these strong shows, on these New Japan shows, because it's something different. It's something fresh, and it's something to expose the crowd to that they've never seen before.
I took offense to the fact that you let Iwatani win the New Japan title, and then you let Tam Nakano beat Julia. But now, after watching these matches, I get it, because
Tam also has both belts now.
Yeah, Julia's going to be the face of New Japan Strong Women's Division for a long time, until Sasha Banks comes back, and they're going to have an epic feud where she's probably going to win, and then Julia's going to go back and win the Stardom title, I think.
Okay.
Because they're not this is the problem that a lot of people are saying. I'll just get it out quick because I don't want to drag this out. Everyone in Japan is worried that she's gonna leave and go to WWE because she's WWE's number one thing they're trying to steal on the radar right now from Japan.
Yeah, that's on the radar right now. Can you imagine how stacked that would be? Like, you're gonna have, if you have Julia, you have Io Shirai, and you have
yeah, but they won't do anything with them. They'll have them lose to white wrestlers
like Charlotte Flair.
Vince McMahon. Charlotte, listen, I'm tired of the slander. Charlotte Flair is a different man now. She's a changed man.
But like I said, there was a great, after the match, what's it called? Kogo and Nightingale go over, sets up the next night. There's a really great interaction between Julia and Thing after the match. I really liked and just the attitude that Julia puts forward. It's like, hi. The attitude that Julia puts forward, like, she almost has like that MJF, like, I'm better than you kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to fix my camera. Keep talking. You don't worry.
Yeah. No, but and that's what I'm saying. She has like, I'm that better than you. So they have a really great interaction, sets up the match for the next night with Willow Nightingale against Julia, which was really looking forward to that match.
And they mention it. Chris Charlton mentions it. Julia is used to being the most powerful person in every match that she's in, and fighting Willow, who's like double the power of her, is like throws her off.
Yeah, because she's big compared to some of the women in Stardom.
She's also like ridiculously strong. If we've seen some of her feats of strength over the last couple of months, it's like she's very strong.
Yes. With that, we are going to go into our next match. We have the Bullet Club War Dogs heavyweight iteration of Alex Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd against Bishamon, Goto, and Yoshihashi for the strong openweight tag team championship. This was on one night, and then the New Japan belts were on the second night. This is how you can split belts properly.
Oh my God, you read my mind. Take notes. When you're going to split belts, like, it's okay to let people triple, multi, quadruple belt. Just don't have matches for every belt every time you do it. It makes no sense.
Because now Roman Reigns is triple champion.
If we're on a strong event, why would I be defending every single title I have?
If I'm the strong championship, defend the strong championship.
Yeah, like, you have matches for that. There's divisions for a reason. That's like how things work. But also, I take issue with this War Dog situation. These guys have the song War Dogs. These guys on the back of their trunks says War Dogs. They're called the War Dogs. So why does everyone keep referencing the other team as also the War Dogs, who don't have it on, doesn't say War Dogs on the thing. They don't have the song. It doesn't say War Dogs on their trunks. Why are they also called the War Dogs?
I think that's Finley's group.
Oh, like his version of Bullet Club is called War Dogs?
Yeah, his subdivision, I guess.
This thing is driving me nuts. It's the light. It's because there's light coming from behind me.
Move your face closer to the camera. See if that works.
It will, but it's because of the light coming through the back window. When I moved out of the way to fix my fan, I let too much light go by, and now the cameras had it.
Well, okay. With that, so Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd, two guys that we thought were going nowhere, put on a fantastic match against Bishamon. I think Bishamon now is getting a little long in the tooth. It's like,
but this is the thing. We already know this. Chaos never has a breakup. So they will never stop being a tag team. There's not going to be like a split in between them. But
no, but I mean, it feels like they're the scapegoat for, oh, we don't have anybody to give the belts to. Let's just give it to Bishamon again.
And that's fine because they're really good. Yoshihashi really improved, but it's like, I agree with you. It's like the only way they know how to give any clout to Goto is by making him once again the tag team champion. For no reason. Like, there's zero reason that they should be the tag team champions right now.
No, there isn't. But this will lead into something we're going to see a little later. But this was a fantastic match. Like you said, not as good as the previous match. And Alex Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd, like, these were guys that we had no, you're still trying to get.
Just keep going. This is funny for me. Just let me have this moment.
These are guys that we thought were going nowhere, and they end up beating Bishamon for the strong open tag team championship.
Yeah, fine, because
which is good because
I'm not having Bishamon on New Japan Strong. If I'm
but at least now you have guys that are part of New Japan Strong as your champions,
as it should be. Smart.
Yeah, like why would you give? Like, I mean, Julia's a different story, but why would you give a belt to someone like? Okay, any Omega's on a different level, and that's but now your US championship is back with someone who wrestles in the company, right?
But that storyline was to tell that specific situation, where I'm starting to think the Willow Nightingale situation just only came about because of the injury. It was I think they called an audible where she's like, we got to let her win. And she lost, because you could remember we talked about it. The moment where she gets the pinfall, it looked like they were expecting Sasha to kick out, and she didn't.
Yeah, they probably called an audible. But now, like, we'll talk about this on the next episode. But Bishamon now loses the strong championship, but they're still the IWGP. So with that, with War Dogs beating the IWGP champions, they also get a title shot on the next night for the IWGP belts, which is fine. I'm good with that too. So with that, we're going into our next match. It's the junior division of Bullet Club War Dogs of Drilla Maloney. Now he goes by, and Clark Connors against Catch 22, TJP, Francesco Akira. What a great match this was too.
Yeah, it was. It's so funny that the more experienced team is called the junior team. But yeah, this was a good match. I think Maloney doesn't get enough credit. He's a lot better wrestler than anyone knew, and I think it's just because the English market is really small.
Yeah, and we always knew Clark Connors was something special since we saw him last year at for the year before at Forbidden Door. And once again, the Bullet Club War Dogs go over. it's good to see finally some clout on Maloney and Clark Connors. They needed something like this to really establish themselves.
The way I've been watching New Japan do things with the light titles, the junior titles,
the tag belts,
they're good. They're not going to have it for long. These titles have bounced around so much in the last 12 months that like these guys are not going to have it for long.
Yeah, because they just had Knight and Kushida win it.
Yeah, the junior division for them, they're the value, like what the titles are treated like, is like WWE's tag division. They're just whoever they slap together. Here, you got titles. Here, you slap, you just take the titles.
Kind of like with our Money in the Bank review. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. But you didn't have Owens and Sami Zayn on the card.
No, and I think the IWGP, the heavyweight tags, are treated a lot more prestigiously, but the reason they've changed hands quite frequently lately is because of outside of their control situations, right? Because I think Aussie Open would still be the tag champions had this not happened.
Yeah. It was kind of, they had to give it to
because they don't want to do inter what do you call it?
Promotional.
Yeah. There's not going to be any like someone holding it for now until someone comes back. No, that's not happening.
Yeah. And the reason being was also what's his name got hurt from
so they had to give up the titles, right? They had to relinquish, and I understand that, but I think if they didn't, they would still be the tag champions right now.
But I'm looking forward when Mark Davis comes back, him and Kyle Fletcher to rip through that tag division.
They're going to destroy FTR. They're that's going to be the next 3-match series you see is going to be FTR
against Aussie Open. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But it, like I said, it's good that Clark now has some sort of championship. No,
close enough.
But it's now Clark Connors has a belt, Maloney has a belt. Even if it's not on them for long, at least it gives them some sort of clout, some sort of I don't want to say recognition, but some sort of like, it cements them now as contenders in this division.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. There we go. Nice. Finally. So with that, we go into our main event of the night. We have Homicide and Mox against El Desperado and Jun Kasai. And oh my God, Jun Kasai just looks like he was put through a meat grinder.
Didn't he retire?
Yeah, a few years ago, I think. So they pulled him out of retirement for this. But
yeah, that's great. The fans loved it. The match was fun. There was bang, bang, blood, explodey, punchy, kickies.
What is it? Desperado is still using the torn mask in this match.
Well, he came out specifically with it, and I think that's like I really enjoy that. I thought there was a lot of fun little things that happened here. I'm not a fan of Homicide. I think we know that right now.
Yeah.
He's one of those Nick Gage guys that only can do death matches and literally can't really wrestle.
Yeah, like that. But the same thing with Kasai though. At least Kasai can wrestle.
But Kasai is on a level of legend at this point that is like special.
Yeah, because he brings out that board with the forks on it.
Yeah,
at one point he had a meat cleaver.
Yeah, he cut his head with it.
Yeah.
But it was good. I thought I had a fun time.
The fork under Desperado's mask kind of thing.
These are how death matches work for me. It's once you get into the realm of like just breaking glass tubes over your head for 10 minutes, it's not fun. Like to me, that's not fun at all.
Yeah. I saw spots I've never seen before. Like Moxley, that infamous image now, Moxley looking on with the chopstick stuck in his head. Them
fighting in the seats was great. That went on for a while. There was a lot of really good inventive spots, and I enjoyed it. It was more than just a silly death match. There was like a real match going on as well.
Yeah, there was actually some wrestling going on in this match. But it was bloody. It was brutal. It was, now I understand why they called it a doomsday match. And
not like tomorrow night's match. That's like the bang, bang, boom, boom, killer, death, must die now today match.
Must die now today match. Who's driving? Bear's driving. Oh no.
Oh no.
Jun Kasai.
Oh, that's so good. Who's driving? Bear's driving. Oh no.
So with that, El Desperado gets the pin on Homicide. Main event over. A fun little show. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it was fine.
What would you give this one?
7.2.
I gave it a 7.1, so I'm right up there with you. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in tomorrow night. We will have our review of night 2 of the same event. Features a couple more title matches, singles matches as opposed to tag matches. You got your New Japan Strong Women's Championship match, and you have your New Japan Strong Open Championship match, Kenta and Kingston. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you all next time. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.